Come right up. Fresh cabbage, carrots, onions, radishes, everything you need.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm honored that.
Farewell. Jesus Christ be praised.
I'd like to buy a...
Well now,
Not...
then go and have farewell. God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And onions that will make you cry when you cut them, and cry for joy when you taste them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I am honored that a knight.
Do you know anything about local brawlers?
Why do you ask?
I like a good punch up myself, so I'm keen on meeting like-minded fellows.
Then you're in luck, because I'm in charge of all the fights here. You want to join in right now? Or have you any questions?
What are the rules?
Nothing complicated. Don't you worry. First thing, no weapons. Try that once, and you're finished. Second, you can't walk away. Jump the fence, and that's the end. You lose.
How does it work?
Easy. You come to the others and challenge them. Wager against each other, and if you win, you get your stake back, plus the same again from the fellow you beat.
I like the sound of that.
Don't get carried away though. If you beat someone and then challenge him again, you won't be too keen on betting. Understand?
I want to fight.
Well, if you're as good as you are keen, it'll surely be interesting. But before the two of us start brawling, you have to beat the others.
Who are they? Where can I find them?
Lads from Ujits. Mash, Maple, and Matt. Joseph. Lord, watch over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, who's there?
Ah!
Ow! No, don't ride off, idiot. Garlic, beetroot,
Yeah.
asparagus.
Thank you. Thank you 100-fold. You have a good heart.
Yeah.
I hope I can be of help to you.
The fisherman sent me to you. Said you'd be up for a brawl.
Is that so? Well, we haven't had any new blood here for a while. But if you want an easier scrap, you should go to Maple or Joseph. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I'm damn good. Either way, you'll wager a few groschen, right? God be with you. Farewell.
Hey, you! Don't move a muscle. Surrender!
Enough!
You're under arrest for break. You've been reported, you and your dog. If you can't mind that animal, we'll mind you. Under lock and key. Or you can cough up some silver in compensation. Well, you won't forget this in a hurry, because it'll take a nice pile of coin to fix it.
Damn it. Here's your coin.
All right. Just make sure it doesn't...
That's a good boy. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
I'm honored that a knight...
The fisherman told me you'd be up.
Aye, if you've a mind to. Take care now. What's that? Herregud!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God save you.
Are you one of the local pugilists? The fisherman told me you weren't averse to a bit of friendly violence.
I'm glad you showed up. It's been as dull as hell here. Joseph doesn't talk much and the fisherman is, well, slippery as a fish. God be with you.
Let's fight.
All right. Good. You put on a pretty good show. Let's spice it up with a few groschen, eh? God be with you.
You'll get one.
Let's fight.
Damn. I hoped I seen the last of you. Oh well, fair enough. Take care now.
Surrender! You've committed a crime, and I'm arrested. That beast of yours was seen attacking people. Are you out of your mind, letting it run around loose? You'll pay for that. This definitely won't come cheap. All right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you saying?
All the raiding and looting, I mean.
I mean you, a stupid woman.
Oh, now.
That's the daftest thing I've heard today. When I think how you wiped the floor with the miller.
Ah, that was easy. He was talking utter nonsense.
Everyone believed him, though, until you put him in his place.
Even you?
Well, look, You're not a stupid woman, and I'm not the brightest star in the sky.
That's a clever way of putting it. Will you come tomorrow? I have a new song from the peddler. We can give it a go.
I'll be there.
God's blessings.
That race, it was quite something.
So the race is over? Tell me, please, how did it go?
Not good. Terrible. Atrocious, really. Zora, prepare for the worst.
Mother of God, what am I to do?
Alas, you'll need to begin anew. Because Sir Divish wants to buy your horses.
Why, I ought to wring your neck, you rat. That's not the kind of joke you play on a woman of my age.
Congratulations, Zora.
Thank you, lad. But how can I ever pay you back? Wait, I've got it. You'll get the best saddle to be had in the whole province. Smill had it made in Kuttenberg.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's you I owe thanks to, lad. Goodbye.
How are you doing?
Good. Good. No one's trying to cut my throat, and I've got a proper roof over my head again.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
Sometimes, when I go to the courtyard
May
at
the Lord
night,
watch over
there's
you.
a sudden movement or sound. It makes me jump, but it's just a memory.
You told me you'd teach me something useful.
Aye, and I keep my word.
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
I'm glad to see things getting back to normal here. How are you coping?
All right, I suppose.
What is it? Are you still troubled by that night?
All the time. Whenever I close my eyes, I can still see all that blood and those bastards curse this place. I can't look anywhere without seeing carcasses. I'd like to disappear far from here. But where can I go? I don't know anyone anywhere else.
Well, I can help you. I've got stables in Pribyslavitz, and I'll need someone there who knows horses. And I hear you understand them very well.
You? You take me on there? But is it safe there?
Safe as houses. Any bandits or cumans we didn't kill ran from the woods so fast you couldn't see their heels for dust. And there's not so many people there, so if you prefer talking to horses...
Ha ha! Horses can't talk. But first, you'll have to ask Mistress Zora if she'll let me go.
I already asked her, and she said yes.
She'll let me go? Really? All right, I'll go. Thanks. Good luck then.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I'm interested.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I'm...
Yeah.
Is someone there?
What hole did you crawl out of?
God be with you.
No business here.
Master Huntsman, is there any work for me here?
There's always something that needs doing. You're that Scarlet's lad, aren't you? Sir Radzig's lackey.
That'll be me.
Right. I saw you here shortly after the attack. My word, to get away from Talmberg like that, quite remarkable. It's clear you're not easily scared. So I do have a job for you.
I'm listening.
We've been having terrible problems with poachers lately. In Sir Divish's forests, we've been finding gutted entrails of deer and rabbit nooses all over the place. But no sign of the bastards who put them there.
And you want me to track down the poachers?
Indeed. Whatever you learn will be useful to me.
Do you suspect anyone?
Well, it's hard to say, but seeing how much harm they're causing, I'd say they're no crofters looking for a Sunday roast.
Shouldn't you be dealing with the poachers yourself?
I should, you're quite right. But when I ask the local folk anything, their mouths close up like clams. They're more scared of me than the devil.
Do you think the locals are in on it?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But even if not, they'll never talk to me. They're scared I'll dig some skeleton out of their cupboard. You know, the smaller the village, the bigger the secrets. That's why I need an outsider to ask for me.
I understand. I'll try to find out something about them. Any advice about where to start?
Certainly. Ask around the village. Somebody must have seen or heard something. And it wouldn't hurt to ask in the inn in the glade, the one on the road towards Neuhof. I've heard they serve good venison, and no shortage of it.
That's clear enough. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thanks for your help, lad.
Take care.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
I don't know anything about it. But if I were you, I'd speak to Martha, the innkeeper's wife. She knows all the goings-on round here. You can find her at the tavern. Take care now.
Jesus Christ be...
I heard you've got a poaching problem in the woods around here.
In the woods and out of them. Not long back the bastards hung a deer's head on the huntsman's house.
That's pretty brazen of them.
Certainly is. Word around the village is that someone wants to shame him till he squirms.
Putting a deer's head on the huntsman's house sounds pretty risky. Why would anyone do that?
Maybe they want to show that Huntsman Nicholas is no match for them. And they're not wrong. He isn't the man he should be.
Do you think it was someone local?
I really don't know. All sorts of things get said. Anakin Hare's back, if you listen to some, and others are going on about Tom of the Bass. They swear blind he's got his fingers in it.
And what about you?
It could be anyone. There's more than one that has it in for Nicholas. And who knows what the neighbors get up to by night.
What's so suspicious about this Thomas?
Just that he was drunk and blabbering about how he was going to bring back venison from the woods.
Tell me something about Anakin Hare.
He used to be Master Huntsman here a while back. But then Nicholas got him accused of a murder, and the Hare had to flee. It cost him the huntsman's rank and Margaret, too.
What happened between Hare and Nicholas, anyway?
Those two didn't get on from the start. And then that business with Margaret really set them at each other's throats. But it all came to a head about 15 years back when Sir Henry of Lifer came to visit.
Sir Hanish's father?
Just so. There was a banquet at the castle in his honor, and in the morning they found one of Sir Henry's men-at-arms in the ditch with his neck broken. Well, Nicholas made sure the blame fell on Anakin Hare.
And what happened to Hare?
That's just it. No one rightly knows. They put him in the dungeon, but when Sir Henry's men came for him the next morning, he was gone. No one knows what became of him.
So how did Nicholas put the blame on Hare?
Nicholas always had a viper's tongue, and events made it easy for him. That evening there'd been a right falling out between Hare and the guardsman. Blows were struck. Well, Sir Divish didn't want any ill will with Sir Henry, so he tried to settle things as quick as he could, and Hare got the short straw.
What was going on with Margaret?
Her father promised her to Anakin, because they seemed a good match. But Nicholas couldn't stomach that, so he did what he did.
I want to ask about something else. Tell me something about Anakin Hare.
He used to be Master Huntsman.
I want to ask about... So why do people think Tom of the Baths is involved?
Ah, that's just nonsense. He was bragging in the tavern that he'd put on a venison feast for the village girls. Deer for the deers.
Did he?
I doubt it. He's all mouth and no trousers. But if you want to know more, ask my husband, the innkeeper. I wasn't here that evening.
That'll be all.
Take care.
God be with you.
How are the Talmberg folk getting on? Is it peaceful here?
Things here are not too bad at all.
What do you think about all the poaching lately?
What should I be thinking? If they ever catch them, Sir Divish will have them skinned alive. But for that to happen, our master huntsman would have to be made of sterner stuff.
Folk were talking about Hannikin Hare.
Oh, good lord. People do like to prattle on. Don't you go believing a word they say. It's the back of beyond here, and they'll tell any tale to spice things up a bit.
Do you think Nicholas isn't doing enough?
A master huntsman who lets poachers run wild through his woods? He's useless. He couldn't even stop them hanging a stag's head on his own house.
Right. Thank you, innkeeper. I've heard Tom of the Baths was mouthing off in here.
So he did. He and Jack Piper were bragging about how they'd make a feast for the village lasses, that there'd be venison roast and enough beer to fill a river. And a few days later, they did come and buy a few kegs of beer from me.
Did they have anything else to say?
Not really. I told him to shut up, or someone would hear him and there'd be trouble.
And what did he say to that?
Nothing. He had more booze in him than the castle cellar. He just hiccuped and slid under the table. Piper took him off after that, thank God.
Do you suppose he meant it?
Hardly. He's nothing but a braggart.
All right, I'd best ask him myself.
Feel free to ask, but don't believe half what he says.
And who is this Jake Piper?
Well, he's Tom's best mate. A decent fellow. They call him the Piper because everywhere he goes, he's whistling on that pipe of his.
Where can I find him?
Well, most likely in the quarry. He lends a hand there to make ends meet.
Thank you, innkeeper.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If you ask me, there's some questions best left unanswered. But go and see Elena if you're determined. That old gossip will tell you all there is to know.
I'd like to ask you about Hannikin Hare.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about Hare, they always ended up talking about you.
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you do know more than you're telling, and I need to hear it.
Very well. You're right. And what would you like to know about Hare?
How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hannikin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood. But I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want him? I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. That'll be everything. I'd like to ask...
I'm sorry, but I
That'll do me.
God bless.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare. He's the one who's been running amok. I said he'd be back, and I said he'd be vengeful, and I was right both times.
Tell me something about Hannikin Hare.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman, and Margaret was promised him for his wife. Nobody could have known he was a sorcerer.
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of folk. And I've heard it said he spoke to animals, too. Though I don't know the truth of it.
Well, doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It was natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see. How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the Hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
What do you mean? What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipa was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bare hands. Of course, they found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. And that Satan spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, quite a wild story. Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power. There was a full moon, you see.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
That's probably true. There is one other thing I want to ask. Tell me something about Hannikin.
Ah, that was all years ago. He claimed up...
Has anyone actually seen this Hannikin Hare? He seems to exist only as a bogeyman to frighten naughty children.
Oh, he exists all right. But he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon. But Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them.
Very well. I'll ask. Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the Hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well?
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
Thanks. I think I know all I need.
Good luck, then.
My respects to you.
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. That remains to be seen. That'll do me. I hear there's been trouble with poachers recently.
I don't have time to talk to strangers. Good day to you. Farewell.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been...
I don't know any.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted...
I said I don't know any. If you want to know anything, go see Blacksmith's Betty. She saw them feasting in the woods.
Feasting?
That's all I know. But don't worry, she'll took your ear off.
May the Lord watch over you.
Hey, what the? Clear off before I call a catchpole.
God grant you health.
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire, and there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought maybe it was some witch's Sabbath, so I was afraid to stay too long in case they saw me.
Did you recognize anyone there? Someone from the village, maybe?
No. Like I said, it was dark. All I could see was shadowy figures moving around.
Did you hear any familiar voices?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper playing. It sounded just like any feast.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks. What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hannikin Hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she might be feeling the urge. It happens in the best of families.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumours.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
You were singing a different song not long ago.
So? Why do you want to know so much, anyway?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nicholas unmask that local poaching gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep anything from me. So, what's the story with that Hare?
All right, I'll tell you what I know.
But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to?
And what did they speak about?
I don't know. But if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh, no. Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
Who's this Hannekin Hare, anyway?
Hannekin Hare? There was a time he was master huntsman here, and Margaret was set to be his wife. But then he got himself accused of murder and fled before they could hang him. Margaret and his job both ended up going to Nicholas.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hannekin Hare.
So what went on between Hare and the huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
That's all I need. Thanks.
May the Lord watch over you.
I'd like to ask...
I'm sorry.
Listen, I know the Hare is here, and I know you spoke with him. And if you don't want your husband to find out, you better start talking.
Wait! You can't say something like that to Nicholas. God knows what he'd do.
It's in your hands whether I tell him or not.
All right, all right. What do you want to know?
What did you talk about in the woods with Hannekin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hannekin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hannekin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
On the way to Ujits. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. And that's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
Take care.
How are you?
Would you know of any way I could earn a bit of coin?
As it happens, I was just going to tell you about a job.
So, tell me.
Now and again, the fisherman from Talmberg comes around here with some game to sell. There's more and more poaching going on there, and they're always looking for new people, if you're interested.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Then find a fellow in Talmberg who goes by the name of Black Lukesh. I think he lives on the hill above the castle. Tell him I sent you.
Thanks.
I'm hungry. I'd like a bite to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew, the innkeeper, sent me. Said you had a job for someone who's good with a bow.
Did he now? That's all very well, but I don't know if you're a man I can trust.
So how can I prove it to you?
For a start, you can tell me why a lad like you wants to join us.
Simple. I love to hunt, but I haven't a drop of blue blood in me. So what else can I do?
True. The damn law won't let a man do what's natural. Anyway, I have to check you out first. See if you're any good.
I'm listening.
To begin with, I need to know if you're at home in the woods. And if you're any kind of hunter. Bring me some deer antlers, and then we'll talk.
Easy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
hagyjátok őket meglógni!
Come on, cuntface!
What's your game, you beggar? We've a job to do. Clear off or you'll regret it.
Na mi van? Megint lesznek, alright. Espera.
Let's see what you can seek.
God be with you. God bless.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm guessing Nicholas won't be joining us. Who the devil are you?
My name is Henry, and I work for the Master Huntsman.
So are you going to arrest me?
I am.
All I ask is that you listen to me first.
Why should I listen to you?
Because if you care about justice, you're after the wrong man.
Anyone can say that.
And that's precisely why the accused should get a proper hearing.
Let me guess. You're going to tell me you're innocent?
I wouldn't presume. I've been poaching on the Divish estate, and I'll take the punishment I deserve. But the crime I was nearly strung up for, that one I didn't commit.
I've heard different things about your crime.
So I imagine. Lucas has told me the villagers still talk of me.
And how did it happen?
It's a long story.
I've got time to listen.
All right. But for you to understand, I have to start from the beginning. I was born as Hanakenher of Zalush, the eldest son of Sidney of Zalush. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher. I see. That's quite a transformation.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened to your family?
My father lost his influential friends and the money with them. After his death, I inherited only his debts. There was nothing for it but to sell off all our possessions, see to my sister's welfare, and manage as best I could.
That sounds a rough deal.
Believe it or not, I never cared for the life of a nobleman. I spent my youth running free, hunting in the woods.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you?
That's just it. They did. At the banquet, I got into a fight with the man.
I know Sir Hanish of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Rattay to take charge of the fiefdom for young Sir Hans Capon.
Why did you get into a fight with him?
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lipa, and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw me with the fellow later that night.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret is his wife today. But back then there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood, and Nicholas was just plain Nick. Her father's preference was clear.
Do you know who did kill the man?
No. He was found in a ditch with his neck broken. He could have tripped and fallen, all on his own.
And that never occurred to anyone?
It did. But some people swore they'd seen us jostling on the drawbridge. Of course, that was Nicholas's work.
What did Margaret think of you?
She took me for a fool. She only had eyes for Nicholas, but I didn't see it then. In the end, she could have saved me.
How?
She could have told the truth. After the banquet, I was with her. But when they asked her, she said she hadn't seen me that night.
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud. For me, that's worse than the sentence waiting for me.
If you say so. But you still managed to get away.
Well, it's true. I had the good fortune to escape from the dungeon.
From the Talmberg dungeon? That can't be done, can it?
It's not too hard when the lord of the castle himself helps you escape.
So, Divish set you free? From his own dungeon?
He couldn't offend Henry, so he had to lock me up. But he trusted me. We were friends, after all. He led me out of the castle in the night. I was given a good horse, and in a couple of days I was in Silesia. And that was the end of it. At least until now.
Even if I believed you, there's no proof. It all happened a long time ago.
I know. But if I didn't believe in my own innocence, I'd have to be crazy to have done what I did.
Why?
If I truly were guilty, why would I risk coming back to Bohemia? I could have died in peace as a rich man in the pay of the Jagiellonians. Only a fool would come back.
Nicholas took everything you had, regardless of your guilt or innocence. I'd say you have more than enough cause to want revenge.
I'm not like him. Anyway, you're right. I don't have any proof of my innocence. All I can give you is my word.
This is one of the most insane stories I've heard lately.
That doesn't surprise me.
But something tells me you're speaking the truth, Anakin Hare.
Thank you. And if you want to help me, come to the old mine gallery in Broad Woods.
I'll be there.
I have a plan, but I need some help.
No one's... So, what are you up to?
Working out how to get Nicholas's confession.
And how would you do that exactly?
Simple. I'll have him sign it. I've had the priest in Janowitz write me up a parchment. When Nicholas signs it, he'll admit to everything written down there.
How do you want to force him to do that?
He won't have a choice, or rather he will have, between his wife Margaret and the job of huntsman.
I'm not following this at all.
It's plain enough. We'll kidnap Margaret. That's to say, you'll kidnap Margaret while I distract Nicholas. If he wants to see her again, he won't have any choice.
Kidnapping? That doesn't seem like much of a way to clear your name.
No. Take a look around you, Henry. Sigismund kidnapped Wenceslas, his own brother. And Divish was abducted by Medek of Waldeck.
True, but Sigismund and Medek kidnapped the men they wanted to bargain with. You're thinking of taking a man's wife who's done nothing to deserve it.
And what of it? Those others did it for money or power. I'm doing it to redeem my honor. And since you mentioned Margaret, she's not all that innocent. I could have swung because of her.
But that confession's just a scrap of parchment with writing on it. What will happen to him after that?
That scrap of parchment is for Sir Divish and the provincial court. But we'll be generous to Nicholas and let him leave in peace before we deliver the confession to Talmberg.
So Nicholas will go free, and you'll clear your name?
Hopefully.
So what do I need to do?
I had Nicholas's prized hunting horn liberated. I'm sure Nicholas will recognize its sound from quite far off. I'll lure him out of the lodge at dawn.
And I meant to kidnap his wife while he's gone?
Of course it would be best if she went with you voluntarily, but if not, you'll just have to drag her with you.
I don't know. What if there's trouble?
That's why I'm sending you. I trust you. But whatever happens, Margaret mustn't be hurt. When you get her, bring her here. Then we can decide what's next.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Glad to see you. I'd like to make you an offer. I've been appointed bailiff of Pribyslavitz. We're resettling the place, and I need a huntsman there. What do you say?
Ah, Henry. I'm already Sir Divish's master huntsman. That'd be a step down for me. Sorry, but you'll have to find someone else. See you.
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? If you don't clear up quick, it'll be the worst for you. I'm not doing anything to help. Hey, who's there? Must be the wind. What are you doing here? Get lost. Is there something you need? Hey! Hey! What are you doing here? Get lost, or you'll have me to reckon with. What's with you? Don't move a finger! Surrender! You'll have to answer for your law breaking.
You're free. Leave your weapon and go.
What's to be done?
Quick! They're thrashing each other there! Stop them!
Help! Guard! Stop that fight before they kill each other! For heaven's sake, guard! They're fighting there! Stop them! Mary, Mother of God! Do something! They're brawling there! Quick, for God's sake! They're brawling there! Do something! Mary, Mother of God! Do something! They're brawling there!
Don't
Help!
move a finger.
Fight! Do something about
Sorry.
it.
So it's you. Well, you won't forget this.
Oh well.
Help! Fight! Do something about it before they beat each other to a pulp! What are you doing here? Get out right now, or I'll scream!
You won't, because if I don't bring you back with me, Nicholas will be in deep shit.
What are you talking about? What happened?
That man of yours walked right into Hannikin Hare's trap. And if you don't come with me, his neck will be on the block.
Hare won't do anything to him. He'd never threaten a man's life.
Maybe he's not the person you once knew. A couple of years in exile can change a man.
I'll go with you. Just don't hurt me, please.
I've got no cause to hurt you. I want to ask you something first.
Ask away.
Why didn't you tell the truth back then? Hare was with you after the banquet.
I never wanted to marry him. But father insisted because Hare was of noble descent and his name meant something. That lie was the only way I could get rid of him.
Even though it meant condemning him to die?
Marrying him would have been a living death for me. I loved Nicholas, and I wanted nobody else. Can't you understand?
Yes, I understand. Do you know who actually did the deed?
No, and I don't think it was ever discovered. Once Hare disappeared, nobody bothered asking any more questions.
Come on, let's go.
Good work, Henry. Now we have to act fast and sort out Nicholas. Are you all right?
I have to say, that bitch could do with a taste of the whip.
Watch your mouth! She may not be my betrothed anymore, but that doesn't mean I'll stand here and let you insult her.
All right, I was just saying.
Well, don't.
Well, I can't say I feel too good about it, but what else can we do?
Believe me, it gives me no pleasure either, but there's no other way. Take this confession. Go to Nicholas and make him sign it before you tell him where Margaret is.
What if he refuses?
You'll have to make him, one way or another.
I'm not complaining, but couldn't you go to him yourself?
Believe me, I'd rather not drag you into it at all. But if Nicholas sees me, he'll go straight for my throat before I get a word in. The only way to avoid bloodshed is if you go.
I see. Yes, you're probably right. And what if he attacks me?
Then of course you'll have to defend yourself. If you knock some sense into him in a duel, all well and good, but don't forget we need him alive. So keep a cool head.
All right. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'll get to it.
Here's the document. Don't forget to tell him he should get the hell out of Talmberg before we take it to the castle.
Where would I find you?
I'll wait for you in the clearing. Be quick. I don't want to keep poor Margaret here any longer than necessary.
I understand. Yeah.
Have you seen my wife, Margaret? I'm sure something must have happened to her. I can't find her anywhere.
Yes, I've seen her.
Speak, where is she?
Hannikin Hare is holding her captive.
How do you know that?
It makes no odds. Just listen to me.
What, you whoreson? Tell me where she is right now or you'll rue the day.
Bluster all you want, but if you ever want to see Margaret again, you better get a grip on yourself.
Where is she? Tell me!
Yeah, you scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. Sign this parchment here, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
I, Nicholas Angel, do hereby confess... Conspiracy against Sir Hannikin Hare? Just in proper punishment? What? You must be out of your fucking mind. Never.
Have you no honor at all? You almost sent an innocent man to his death on account of a woman, and now justice has finally caught up with you. So face it like a man.
justice? What's all this about justice? Come to that, who are you, really? Why, you probably weren't even a glint in your father's eye when it all happened, and you want to judge me?
Merciful justice. If you sign this, Sir Hanneken will give you a head start. You and your wife can be long gone before Divish learns what you did.
I take it there's no other option.
None. But the deal could have been far worse. You can trade your good name for a happy life with your wife.
There. Now tell me where my wife is.
There's an old mine gallery, a little to the south of here. Margaret is in there, alive and well.
I certainly hope so.
Don't move a finger. Surrender. You're under arrest for breaking the law. Now I'll teach you what clear off means. This definitely won't come cheap. All right, you've paid for your crime.
Yeah.
So, have you got...
It's done. He signed it.
Voluntarily?
Yes. More or less.
Well, I'm glad it's been done without bloodshed.
And what now? Will you take the confession to Talmberg?
We'll go together. I need you to bear witness. I've been gone for years, and I'm not sure they'll take my word for anything.
Well, I hope they do believe you. Otherwise, we're both for the noose.
Don't worry. Divish won't forget our former friendship so easily. Are you ready to go?
Hanneken Hare. I never expected to see you again.
It was the will of God that I returned.
You realize that Sir Henry of Lipa has never repealed his sentence against you. I'm duty-bound to arrest you and turn you over to the provincial court.
Perhaps. But will you read this first? Henry here is my witness that your master huntsman Nicholas signed it himself. This ought to change their minds.
It might. I'm sorry, Hanneken. I always trusted you. But your guilt seemed irrefutable. Nicholas was very thorough. Oh, there's no doubting his own confession. Captain.
Yes, sir.
Have the Master Huntsman arrested.
That won't be necessary. I don't think they'll find him.
I understand. So, What's to be done with you now? Poaching and kidnapping the Master Huntsman's wife. You see my difficulty.
I know. I can't stay here. It's enough to know my name is cleared.
I'll have a letter drawn up to recommend you to the service of Sir Vincent at Vellish Castle.
Thank you, sir.
But if Nicholas has vanished and we're sending you to Vellish, then who's going to be my master hunter here?
There's one obvious candidate. Henry here. Help me bring Nicholas to justice. And he's no disgrace as a hunter.
Really? Well, what of it, young man?
It would be an honor, sir.
Good, good. Then I hereby name you Master Huntsman at Talmberg Castle. My Chamberlain will tell you more about your new responsibilities. Good luck to you, Hannigan.
Thank you, Henry. I could never have managed it without you. God willing, we will meet again one day.
You said something about a message? What was it about?
Nothing terribly urgent, sir. Just a reminder from your cousin that he'll come in a month.
Ah, I see. Well, remind me the week before he arrives, so I'll have time to prepare properly for his visit.
Of course, sir. God be with you.
God save Master Chamberlain. Here I am.
So I see. And what do you want from me?
I'm the new Master Huntsman. I was told to report to you.
Aha, yes, yes. That whole business with Nicholas was, how shall I put it, rather unfortunate. Well, I won't keep you with the lamentations of an old man. Now, to your new duties. You're to supply the castle kitchen with game and protect the woods from poachers. Although there shouldn't be too many of those now.
No, I expect not. And when shall I start?
Right away. Sir Divish is planning to hold a banquet soon, and he wants venison for it.
All right, I'll get going right away.
By the way, the Master Huntsman should get a hunting bow and appropriate livery. You'll find everything in the lodge, which is also yours for as long as you hold the office.
I see. That's good news.
Yes, yes. Nothing but good news. Run along now. Farewell.
What was that?
Yeah. Yeah.
God grant.
I'm.
And good luck then.
Yeah. I brought that game.
Good, good. Here's your reward. Before you go, one more thing. Lady Stephanie has expressed a desire for deer kidneys in cream sauce. Take care of it.
With pleasure.
Goodbye.